Welcome to Real Civil YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to discuss about the methods of linear structural analysis applicable for different buildings, and we are going to see what are the codal recommendations. So if you see the linear analysis, it is divided into static analysis and dynamic analysis. In static analysis, it is the equivalent static method, whereas in dynamic analysis, it is the response spectrum method and response history method. So let's see what code recommends us. So this is the table 9 from IS 1893-2025. So here the methods of analysis are given against earthquake zone, building category, building configuration, and approximate natural period T. So we have seen for static analysis, the first method under static analysis is equivalent static method. So in equivalent static method, it can be performed for the zone, but the clauses are mentioned 13.1, 15.1, and 17.1. So 13.1 is basically related to the masonry or load bearing structure. 15.1 is related with the RCC structure, and 17.1 is related with the steel structure, and it can be done for all building category. I will tell you in detail what is 13.1, 15.1, and 17.1, but I will just finish this row. It can be done for all the building category. It can be done for all the natural period T. But the we have some limitations as per the code. So let's see what is given in 13.1, that is small buildings. So we can see here the parameters and the requirement. So the as per 13.1, if you want about, it is given about equivalent static method. So it is limited to single story. Then residential building, type of building is given residential with less than 50 meter square built up area. Built up area should be less than 50 meter square, and structural systems is given as load bearing wall. Then the walls should be oriented along both the principal plan directions. Then structural plan density should not be less than or not less than 15%. That means structural plan density is more than 15%, and laterally supported wall lengths are not more than 3 meter. So in this case, if your building is fulfilling all these requirements, then structural analysis is not required. First thing is for zone 2 and zone 3, but very important, masonry walls are provided with the bands. So the bands at plinth level, lintel level, and roof level needs to be there. And second one is earthquake zone 4, 5, 6, and if masonry walls are provided with bands and horizontal and vertical reinforcement, then there is no need to perform the structural analysis, seismic analysis. So this is about load bearing structure. So let's see what it tells about the RCC building. So for RCC building, the type is residential building. So it is limited to residential building and 2 story, including the basement. That is basement ground plus 1 story, and plan area less than 200 meter square. If you are fulfilling this, then in earthquake zone 2 and 3, the equivalent static analysis is permitted. So you can perform the equivalent static analysis in zone 2 and zone 3 with these requirements. That means Up to two-story residential building plan area less than 200 meter square. Along with that, there is additional clause. The structural system shall be at least SMRF. That means special movement resisting frame. That means your structure needs to be designed with ductile detailing and with infill wall in at least 60% of the beds. That means if you are building having 10 beds, then 6 beds needs to be infill wall. So then you can do the equivalent static analysis. And if you want to perform the equivalent static analysis in zone 4, 5, 6, this is the first requirement. That means up to two-story, less than 200 meter square, type of building residential. Along with that, again SMRF, special moment resisting frame with structural walls with at least 0.75% structural plan density in each principal plan direction. So here structural plan density is a newly introduced term. That means total cross sectional area of shear wall, if we are considering the shear wall, divided by the plan area of the building into 100. So that gives the structural plan density. So this is 15.1. Similarly, 17.1 gives the idea about steel building. Okay, so the requirements are given. Okay, so this is all about equivalent static method. So it is recommended here, but it is limited by the clauses. So let's see about the dynamic analysis. In dynamic analysis, first one is the response spectrum method. You can perform the response spectrum method for all the zones, all the building categories. So I have collected the building categories. I will show you later. Next, building configuration. Generally, it is recommended for irregular buildings. So what is irregular and regular building? I will make a separate video because it will be a long video because so many types of irregularities are there. And next, it is recommended for building with natural period more than zero point 0.4 seconds. So this is response spectrum method. And next one is the response history method. In response history method, again, you can do it for all the zones. It is basically recommended for critical and special buildings, except for critical and special small buildings as defined in 13.1 and 16.1. So we have just seen 13.1. Similarly, the clause is given in 16.1. Again, irregular building and time period greater than zero point 0.4. So a response history analysis is expected for recommended for special building and critical building. So here you can see the list of critical building as per IS 1893/2025 and as per special building and their description and critical building and their description. So in summary, I can say equivalent static is also allowed, but it is limited by many clauses. So mostly dynamic analysis is expected because dynamic analysis consider mass distribution, stiffness distribution, natural mode of vibration. So it is more accurate. And again, there are clauses like if the base shear of the dynamic analysis response spectrum method, if it is less than equivalent static method, then you have to scale up in that proportion. So this is the entire picture. I hope the concept is clear. So thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe the channel.